Assalamu alaikum mbokk yi, welcome back to the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. This is your boy Chama, and this is the Scorpions weekend recap. After an inspiring 2 weeks of international action for the Gambia senior national team, where we lost to Ivory Coast and Burundi in the World Cup qualifiers, the Gambia foreign-based players, the Gambia professional players were all back to their respective clubs, and yeah, they have been doing really well over the course of the week, and there were some important developments in terms of Gambian players. For example, Yankuba Minteh returning from his injury, Bojang making his debut for Stade de Reims, and and a lot of Gambian foreign players, a lot of Gambian professionals were very, very good over this week with goals scored by various players. And without further ado, guys, we will discuss the weekend performance of Gambian foreign-based players. Yeah, and yeah, like I say, we start in France. We cannot start anywhere other than in France because Bojang is a player, and he's in the lips of every Gambian football fan. He's in the lip of every Gambian, I would say. And to see him make his debut finally for his club Stade de Reims, it is something very monumental in Gambian football because if you look at it, he's the first player to leave the Gambia Football League, that is the GFF League, to move into one of the top leagues in Europe because France is one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So he's the first Gambian who left the shores of Gambia from the clubs and then make the step up into the top 5 leagues in Europe. So that is very monumental. And yeah, ñu ko ñaanal rek moom yàlla ko yàlla lafal chat. This is the beginning for him. I know everybody was waiting for his debut because if you look back, for over the last 3 games, he was on the bench, coming on the bench, and he never really get on. And this time, he was finally, brought on by the coach. Even though he only played 3 minutes, not significant enough. They lost the game 3-1. But for him to make that debut is very, very big. It's huge for him, it's huge for his family, and it's huge for the Gambia. So we are wishing him all the best. Hopefully this is the start, this is the stepping stone. Like my brother Buba Jallo Falabowe said on his video, it should be a stepping stone. This should be the stepping stone for him to, when does he have the next minute? When does he have the next start? When does he, become a regular in the team? So now it's all about that. Now it's about taking the next step and the next step and the next step. So let's just wish him all the best. It is just a beginning for him. It's nothing massive. It's nothing like football wise, like nothing massive. But for him as a footballer to take this step, it is big. It is huge. So now let's see how this journey ends. Let's see how this journey goes. It's an exciting journey because we all know Adama Bojang is a very exciting player. One of the most gifted strikers we have ever had in the Gambia. He has done it at the under 20 African Cup of Nations, done it at the under 20 World Cup. So he's a global name now. If I could call it like that, because he is on the lips of everybody. Fabrizio Romano, everywhere you go, how many clubs we are linked to him. So finally, he has got the platform to showcase himself. So let's wish him all the best with that. And then we stay in France. Ablai Diallo, Jamano. He was also in action for Metz, and they won their game 3-2. Germano scored the winning goal from the penalty spot, and he was also involved in the second goal. The second goal they scored that made it 2-2. Yeah, because they were 2-1 down at some point. So he helped them because it was a corner. He crossed the ball, somebody flicked the ball, and then one of his teammates, Traore, was at the back post to lock, and then just head the ball in, and then they won the penalty in the 83rd minute. Germano stepped up, and then he took the penalty, dispatched it. It was close. Goalkeeper could have saved it, but I think he placed it very well. It was very difficult for goalkeeper to get there, but the goalkeeper got a hand to it. So that means Germano now has 3 goal involvement. He scored 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 games for Metz. If we recall, at the start of the season, he came with an injury. He started the season with an injury, so he was not playing regularly. And then when he returned, he was often coming off the bench, trying to have impact. Now he has his 5th. This was his 5th start. Now he has 3 goals and 1 assist, which is not a bad return at the league like the French league, which is one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. And if you go to the second division, second tier of French football, Grenoble, they also won their game. That was their 3rd consecutive win. Bambalai played in that game, but he came on in the second half. He played just about 22 minutes. And another exciting news for Gambian football fans is Yankuba Minteh. like I should have started with him because, to be honest, personally, he's up there when it comes to my favorite Gambian player. Yanko Minteh is at the top. I would not even hide that because of like I just like the way he plays. That does not mean I don't rate Adam Bojang. I rate that kid very very highly. But my favorite as a Gambian is Yanko Minteh. But yeah, he is back from his injury. We all know how we miss him. Despite the, I don't want to talk about the national team because we have done that a lot. But you could see that we miss him because prior to the games we played, he was the player who changed the game when he came on in Congo. So just by that token, you can say that we miss him in the national team during our double header qualifier against Burundi and Ivory Coast. And yeah, he's back for his club. He came on in the 68th minute. He was on the bench. He started on the bench. They were drawing 1-1. He came on 3 minutes after coming on. Dribble past his marker, lay the ball for Jimenez to score his second goal, which gave Feyenoord the lead 2-1. And then he was also involved in the third goal. He was involved in the fourth goal. It's all about his taking on, dribbling one player, and then, progressing the ball higher up the pitch, passing the ball, and then, creating that ball progression before the ball get to Jimenez, who later got a hat trick. Yeah, he was involved in all 3 goals when he came on. Even though he got only 1 assist, he was involved in the build-up to board the other goal. So yeah, it's good to see him back, and I'm very excited to watch him this midweek because they're gonna play in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, which is a very important game. They lost their last game against Atletico Madrid. I think he played in that one. So yeah, I'm excited to see him back in action. Yanko Minteh. Yeah, like I say, he was involved that and forth, created 2 chances in that game. Completed 2 of his 4 dribbles. He was a menace. I think his players were very happy to see him because when he got the assist, everybody ran to him. It was a good assist. Of course, he squared the ball with his right foot, but to see everybody jump into him, everybody run into him, and then ignoring the goal scorer, that tells you how much they value him and how happy they are to see him back in action. And then another interesting development this week was Jacob Mendy. Jacob Mendy, he made his debut for the national team against Ivory Coast, and he did exceptionally well. Everybody was happy with his performance in that game, and everybody was still was baffled why he was not, chosen for the Burundi game after, what he can bring on the table. And yeah, he just continued where he left off with the national team, went to his club. He was on the bench again and came on around the 23rd minute. I believe they had an injury. Came on around the 20, something like just over the 20-minute mark. And, he came in within 3 minutes, like young Minteh. He also, got involved in the goals. He actually scored a goal, an exceptional solo goal. He was playing like a winger there. I think, because the position he took in that goal tells me he was playing as a winger. I did not watch the game, but I saw the goal. So I think they brought him in as an advanced player, but he showed like he was showing like Mohamed Salah skills because he was cutting inside, left cut inside. Another defender come, he pushed the ball. Nko guy there mu base ball be yobu ñaari defender down, then placed the ball very well where the keeper can't even catch it. It was a wonderful solo goal from Jacob Mendy, just continuing where he left off. And that means now he has 2 goals and 5 assists in 13 games for his club. So that is 7 goal involvement for a defender. Who gives you the defensive responsibility as well as the attacking, as well as that attacking input. 7 goal involvement in 13 matches. These numbers, a midfielder or a striker will be proud of these kind of numbers. So those are the numbers that Jacob is racking up with Wrexham. They are currently second in League 2. Only club that is ahead of them is Stockport United, which is very interesting because Stockport, we have Ibu Toure there, who is direct competition for Jacob Mendy at left back. But of course, we know Ibu Toure is the first choice left back for the national team. But I think Jacob, with the way he's playing this season, and now that he has his debut for the national team, and he built that trust from Tom, like he kind of, the coach Tom, because we all know Tom, he want to play his players before he give them a chance. And after that performance, I believe Tom will trust him more now. So it means there's a competition between Ibu Toure and Jacob Mendy, which is good for for that position, because we want to see competition in every single position we have on the pitch, and then so that we can get the best players in each position. So to see them going head-to-head in League 1, Stockport number 1, they lost this weekend. That is Ibu Toure. He started that game. He didn't have the best of game, got the yellow card, got hooked around the around 60-minute mark, and they lost the game 2-1. When they took him home, they were losing 2-0. So it was not the best. But we all know Ibutre is coming back from an injury, so it will take time for him to get back to his best and all whatnot. But to see them, going head to head in League One and in League Two rather, at the top of the table in terms of their clubs going head to head, and both of them, competing for that spot. I know both of them want to go to the African Cup of Nations. I think they would be the two first choices after their performances. I don't see any other left back who deserve those two positions other than these two, Jacob Mene and Ibuture. But it's good to see them compete. And if Jack, like, of course, Tom is not that type of coach, but if he was the type of coach who will, always base everything on performance, I think it will be very close when it comes to come to picking the player who starts for the national team from now on, because Jacob is showing an exceptional bit of form, and I think in this past month he's one of the best Gambian players. That is, in November, he's one of the best Gambian players, not just best left back, but best Gambian players in November, one of the best. So it will be interesting to see that. And we look at other players who play in England. Mo Fall, that kid. He's a Gambian. He's an English, because if you go to his profile on Flash Score, on Footmob, it's English. It's not Gambian, but he was born in the Gambia until he was 7, and then moved to England. And he has done an interview with with Mbai Kamara and Habib Fall, and then what he said in that interview was he is ready when Gambia call upon him to come and play. So he's a player we can have. It depends on if we want him. And right now, the form he is on, I think he's doing exceptionally well, and he deserves a chance, because if you look at Gambia, the national team, forward, our strikers are not doing they are not doing wow. They are not doing well, especially when they come to the national team. We just shared some stats about our Gambia national team, our forwards. The leading goal scorer this season for our team is Omar Colley, the captain. He got 2 goals. So within the 2023 calendar year, we played 6 games, and the leading goal scorer is our defender, Omar Colley. So our strikers, Musa Barrow, I don't think Musa Barrow actually get a goal, to be honest. He got a couple of assists. I don't think he got a goal. Asan Cisse, he did not score. Only Badam Mosi got 1 goal in our strikers. So if the strikers are not scoring the goals, then definitely you have to open up for other strikers to come in. And this kid is doing exceptionally well. He scored again for Doncaster Rovers. They lost the game though, 3-2, but he scored. That was his 7th goal for the club this season. He's young, 20-year-old. He's tall. He's doing an exceptional job. So these are the players, like they say, catch them young, and he's a young kid. Like I say, Ibutre and Stockport, they suffered a defeat. This was their first defeat in 14 games. Swindon, they won 2-1. Seydou played the whole 90 minutes in that game. Ibo Adams, he was an unused sub for Cardiff City in the championship. Yeah, for him, it's been difficult time at Cardiff. I know it has a lot to do with his injury, and then Cardiff then becomes settled and all that, because last season he did not play. So now he has to, battle that, missing that whole year, and then trying to force himself into a team that is trying to fight to get promotion to the Premier League. It's going to be really hard for him, but it's a good level to be training on every week in, week out. He's a crucial player for the national team, because it seems that the coach really value his skill set, and so we hope he can get some minutes before the African Cup of Nations anyways, but this week he was on the bench for his club. Next we move to Denmark. Alassana Jatta, another very interesting player. I think he was invited to the national team squad in 2023, but he did not end up coming in that game, maybe because of injury. Because he has been struggling with injury of late, but it's good to see him getting goals again. That was his first goal of the season, and it was a big goal. It was a massive goal. It was against Copenhagen. Copenhagen are the top of the Danish league. Viborg, they are fighting to avoid that relegation group, because in Denmark there are 12 teams. 6 teams will be in the relegation group, and 6 teams will play for the championship group. So Viborg, they are just inside the relegation group at the moment. So to win a game against the top of the table, top team of the league, is a very good one. And I was saying Alassana Jatta, he came on in the second half around 83-minute mark, and then he scored the winner in stoppage time. So which is a very good confident booster for him. He has been struggling for injury. He has been struggling to get minutes and all that, all whatnot. I'm happy with him, because just recently we had a story about him from Willie Abraham, the president of Real de Banjul. Alassana Jatta used to be at Real de Banjul. So there was this time when they sent him to Italy. They were about to sign a contract with the club, with another player, and then that player ran away. So then the club ended up, refusing, like canceling the signature, and Alassane Jatta was left in no man's land. And then Willie brought him back to Real de Banjul. When he brought him back, he put his head down, and then just continue where he left off. Scored a wonderful goal. I can't remember what Willie said with his left foot. I don't remember the game against which team he said, but to see him doing well is very nice. I'm sure Willie will be very proud of him because of that, because he's one of the most straightforward players that he ever met. So to have that compliment, consider Willie has been with Real de Banjul since the 80s. To say that Alfousseni Jada is one of the most straightforward players, I'm sure he'll be very proud of his performance, and I'm very happy that he scored this goal this week, which is his first goal for the club, which is his first goal for the new season for Viborg, and gave them the win against the top team of the league. So hopefully this will be a stepping stone for him to to get more minutes and then start banging them in goals, and then hopefully come back into the national team, and then just bring back that, because we need strikers, like I just mentioned. Our strikers are not doing exceptionally well, so the striker position should be open for anyone right now. So yeah, I would say that was it. A good win for them, 3-2, 2-1 against Copenhagen. And also in Denmark, Musa Juara also played second half for Vejle. Alassane Mane also came on in the second half for Odense, as well as in the second division. Alaji Sen also played in the second half. Next, we move to Turkey. Another striker. We talk about another striker, Ali Sow. He did not score this week, but we see that his club, Ankara Gucu, trusted him to give him the captaincy, to captain the club. He was the captain for their game this weekend, and they won the game 1-0. So if you're seeing clubs like this, massive, like these are top clubs. Turkey is a very good league. It's not the top five leagues in the world, but they are a very respectable, league. And to have a Gambian player captaining a club where he has just been for 2 years, it tells you what kind of character is his and the leadership that the coach see in him. And that's Ali Sow for you guys. He captained them. They won the game 1-0. He didn't score, but he was very much involved, played the whole 90 minutes, and he's a very important player for them. They really like him there. Last season, he was their top scorer, and this season, he started off with injury, but when he came back, last game, just before this one, he scored the winning goal in that one, So, yeah. Ali Sikausa Kanamrek, I'm happy to see him doing well, despite how marginalized he is for the national team by the national team coach. For what reason, we don't know, which, to be honest, we should settle that, because he's one of the best strikers. Coach here said it last time. For the system that the coach want to play, Ali Sow is the best striker we have as a country, definitely, because he can give you goals. And he's a good target man. He's a good hold-up player. So we don't have that. Asansi is not good when it comes to hold-up play. He's very bad at that. I think everybody will agree with me on that. And Badamosi, he's not the one who will score you, tons of goals, but he's very good when it comes to hold-up play, even though, he scored a very important goal in our game against Congo. But Ali Sow, he's strong, he will do the battle for you, and as well, he will score the goals for you. He will work for you, he will press for you. We can remember when he came on against Mali, he caused a lot of trouble in that game when coach started him in that game. So, yeah, it's good to see him doing well. And still staying in Turkey, Omar Koli continued to be in his goal scoring form, which is amazing this season. Omar Koli just scored another goal. Just in the international break, he scored for the Gambia, which was his second international goal. He back to his club, he banged another one, and at this time it was a winner, a 2-1 winner. They won 2-1, and Omar Koli scored the winning goal. From his he headed the ball, it was safe, and then he scored from the rebound. So it's good to see many Gambian players scoring. And speaking of Asan, I was just talking about him, about his hold-up play. But yeah, he's back to club action. Damak scored another goal, which was his fifth league goal for the club this season. He's doing a very good job there. I think he's the top scoring Gambian player in Saudi. He scored more than Badamosi and Musa Baro, of course. They won their game 2-1, 4-2 rather. And the Cameroonian guy, what is his? Nkodu. Yeah, he scored a hat trick in that one. Badamosi, Um, they got a really big whipping. They lost 9-0. Badamosi started the game against Al Hilal. It was a tough game for him, to be honest. Musa Baro also started the game for Al Taun. They lost the game 2-1 at Riyadh. And Musa missed a penalty in that game. The game was 1-0. They were leading. Al Taun were leading 1-0. Musa missed a penalty to make it 2-0. And then the other team, Al Riyadh ended up punishing him, I would say, as a club, with his club, of course, because they did not take their chance with the penalty. So they turned around the result. The game ended 2-1. Musa played about 70 minutes before he was hooked. Yeah, it was a tough one for Musa. It has been a very difficult couple of weeks for him because if you remember in the international break for the national team, he in both games actually, Burundi he missed a couple of big chances which he should have converted against Ivory Coast. He missed a big chance to equalize for the Gambia. Yeah, it is not just coming for him in front of goal lately, but hopefully it will change soon. We know he's a quality player and hopefully he will knuckle it down and then find the form. Hopefully by the time we get to AFCON, he will be in his top form. Yeah. And finally, we go to the CAF League, CAF Champions League. Lamin Jallo, he has not been seen in the national team for a while, but yeah, he recently moved from Turkey to Algerian side, CR Belouizdad, and they were in action in the African Champions League. He came off the bench second half around the 80-minute mark, and then he scored a goal to give his team a 3-0 lead, so they won the game 3-0. Another player who was also in action in the Champions League was Keba Sow. He started for Esperance, 18-year-old Gambian striker. So he could be an interesting player to going forward. He started day 1 2-0, but he only played the first half before he was taken off. And other players, Ibrahim Okoli, he also played for Young Boys. He started for Young Boys. They lost the game 3-1. That was his, a back-to-back start. Janko Sedi coming off the bench in the same game. Mahmoudou Bajo that got his 9th consecutive start for Port Brezova, even though they lost the game. 2-1. Yusuf Njai also played 90 minutes for Al Makia. They lost that game 2-0. Seni Sanyang, his club CSK Sofia, they are at the top of the Bulgarian league. He came off the bench late on. They won that game. Now they are about 4 points ahead of Ludogorets, that is Nuha Sonkos Ludogorets, who lost this weekend 3-2. Nuha started that game. They lost 3-2. Babkar Gay continued to be on the bench for Lokomotiv Sofia. He did not start again. And then Jawo Malada Boleslav in Czech Republic, he came off the bench. They lost 2-0. CSCB was in action for his club, Bartos Verona. He started the game. They drew 1-1 away from home. And Moses Jaju was on the bench for Policia against Shakhtar Donetsk in the Ukrainian league. Moses has been on the bench for a very when he has been on the bench regularly, he's still yet to get his debut. So I'm sure that one will be another exciting debut that when it happens, just similar to maybe not to the scale of Adam Bojang, because Adam Bojang is like everybody in the Gambia is so into that kid. So yeah, and Moses is not a striker. That is the problem in football. They value forward players, attacking players more than. But I'm looking forward to seeing Moses, getting his debut for his club, Policia. And this weekend they were playing against a very, very good team, Shakhtar Donetsk. We all know that team. They are regularly in the Champions League and all those kind of things. So to be in that game, and then it's a good thing for him. He's a young player, so the chance will come for him. So yeah. Yeah, guys, that was it. That was the Scorpions weekend recap. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which player, excited you the most this weekend? Which player impressed you the most this weekend? What is your thought on young Adam Bojang making his debut for Stade de Reims? What's your thought on Yankuba Minteh returning? We all know we love that kid, and seeing him back was wonderful. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know which player impressed you the most, and watch out for throughout later in the week. We will be out with our nominees for Player of the Month for the month of November. Make sure you vote, guys. Let me know who you think has been the best Gambian player. Some players who have been doing exceptionally well in the month were, like I said, Jacob Mendy was one of the players. Ablai Jallo Jamano, he was doing well. Yeah. those are some of the players that have been doing well defensively too. Maybe not bad. Even Ali Fareda did well for the national team, but to be honest, he's not starting for his club, so it's difficult to consider. Ibrahim Akoli, he also did well. He scored for the national team. The penalty, he was very good in that game, even though that penalty caused a bit of headlines. But he also, just before that, he scored a goal and assisted for his club. Young boys. So yeah, there have been some good performances by Gambian players over the month of November. Not the greatest month we have as a country, but there has been some very good performances. So we will come out with the nominees for Player of the Month, and also don't forget, guys, the Gambia Football League, that is the GFF League. We also started doing the recap. Every week we will give you the recap of the weekend performance, and also at the end of the month we give you a Player of the Month nominees and see who has been the best performing players in our own local leagues as well. So guys, yeah, the Jollof Football Bantabar is not stopping anywhere. We are here for Gambian football. We are here to promote Gambian football, and we need you guys to support us. And the best way you can support us is just by subscribing to our channel. And if you enjoy the videos we do, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and yeah, always give us your comments, give us your thoughts. What do you think we should bring next? What do you think about our most recent videos? Give us your thoughts. We would like to hear what you think, guys. We are here for you guys. We are here to serve you guys the information about Gambian football and also promote Gambian football in the process. So be involved in it, guys, by doing the those stuff, the little things, subscribing, liking, and all those kind of things. But anyways, guys, I've been rambling too much. I think this is quite a long video. I'm trying to cut these things into 10 minutes, but that is so hard for me to do, to be honest. It's very difficult because something I just want to talk about all of them, which I cannot do, so I have to limit it. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Is it too long? Let me know. Is it too short? Let me know. Should I cover all the players? Let me know, guys. But anyways, thank you guys for being with me this long. This is the Jollof Football Bantabai YouTube channel, the home of Gambian football. We'll be back with you guys again soon. Goodbye.